Hi, I am a Minnesota Historical Society volunteer. Last summer I had the opportunity to volunteer for a couple shifts at the Historical Society booth at the Minnesota State Fair. While I had a great time at the fair, it was a little disappointing as the whole time I was at the booth, all 10 hours, I was just manning the prize wheel. The prize wheel was very effective at handing out prizes, but it did nothing at all to promote the 26 historic locations or the concept of historic adventures. The whole 10 hours I volunteered, nobody asked any questions at all about the 26 locations. There wasn't even really a good chance or a reason to hand out the historic adventure brochure. While at the fair, I was reminded of a carnival game I made 20 years ago when my daughters were in elementary school. I think the main concept of this carnival game would work as a way to promote the 26 historic locations and also distribute prizes. I will call the game, Can You Find the Historic Adventure? To show you how the game would work, I made a prototype of the game using items I had around the house left over from when my kids were younger. Hence the green and yellow fluorescent colors for one display and the glittery gold for the other. If you use this game at the fair, they would be made out of wood and painted colors more in line with the Historical Society. My expertise is also not in making videos. So ignore the crudeness of this video. I just thought this was the easiest and quickest way to show you a possible new game to use at the fair. Thank you for giving me 10 minutes of your time. Okay, so just for a point of reference, when they come up to the booth, they're going to see this map, and then next to it they'll see the game board. So now let's pretend like we have people coming up to the booth. The Minnesota Historical Society has 26 historic locations around Minnesota. And for the purpose of this game, we have divided the 26 locations into 4 different regions. So we have the Metro region, the North, the Southeast, and the Southwest region. A brief summary of each location is included in the Historic Adventures pamphlet, which we have available at this booth. So now let's move over here to the game board, and we see the same 4 regions, the Metro, Southeast, Southwest, and North, but we've added the corresponding locations with each region. So now we're going to play the game, Can You Find the Historic Adventure? But what exactly are we looking for to find a historic adventure? Just happens to be on the back of my shirt. We are going to use this map of Minnesota with the 26 locations as our symbol for a historic adventure. So what we have done is hidden 16 of the historic adventure icons, which is the map of Minnesota. They're represented by these little icons right here. The 16 icons are allocated by region, so we have 5, 4, 4, and 3. So for each region, you're going to pick a location, and we will check to see if there's an icon at that location. There will be 10 locations without a historic adventure icon, so you want to try to avoid picking one of those. If you find an icon, you get a point. So at the end of the game, you can have anywhere from 0 to 4 points, with the number of points determining your prize. Okay, so are you ready to play? All right, go ahead and pick one here in the Metro region. All right, you said you picked the James J. Hill House, so let's take a look. Unfortunately, you can see here are the 5 logos. The James J. Hill House didn't have one, so you have 0 points. Let's try the Southeast. Go ahead and pick one. You're picking the Snake River Fur Post, you say? Let's look. Oh, very good. You found one of the 4. So you have 1 point. Now let's pick one for the Southwest. You're picking the Harkins store, you say. Okay, let's take a look. Oh, very good. You found one of those. So you have 2 points. So now let's go down here to the North. You have a chance to get 3 points. Go ahead and pick one of these. Which one are you picking? You're picking Split Rock Lighthouse. Oh, unfortunately, that one didn't have it. So you got a total of 2 points. So now let's look at the prize board and see what you get. Okay, so this is how the prizes work. You can see on the left side, there's 0 to 4 points, and then the corresponding prize with it, with obviously the tote bag being the 4 points, so that would be the highest prize. This would be on a whiteboard, so as prizes come and go, you're able to change the prize. Okay, let me show you how you would reset the game board between players. Okay, so between each player, we need to reset the board. So remember, the players are standing out here facing the board, and the volunteer is behind the board, so they're not actually having to turn this around. But how we reset it is if we look to the back side, and yes, this is the seating chart from my oldest daughter's wedding. You can see these are the actual logos, okay? So what we need to do is we just need to move a couple from each row. Just shift them up a little bit. It isn't like you have to move every one. It's just to give them some sense of randomness. And in fact, the bottom one, I'm not even going to move. So, I pretend like I moved them, but, it's just to prevent them from memorizing exactly which ones to pick. The other thing is that if the board is made out of wood, then these are actually on a rail or a track. And so think of it like when you play Scrabble, the ones you haven't played, you have on that, the rack. And so you can slide them across. So you're sliding them more instead of having to pick them up and put them back in. So anyway, now it's all reset. And we're set for the next player. All right, so now here's a chance for you to try playing the game. So I'm going to show you the game board. You'll have to pick one, and you'll have to keep track of your own score. Okay, so now I'm going to give you a chance to play. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go through it just like we normally do. The only problem is you are going to have to keep track of your own points. So go ahead and pick one here in the metro region. I'll give you a couple seconds to pick one. All right, if you made your pick, all right, here's what we got. Those are the winners. So, like I said, if you picked Mill City, you're a winner, and so on. All right, now go ahead and pick one in the southeast region. All right, you got your pick. Let's take a look. Oh, you can see I put them all in the middle, okay? So yes, if you have one of these four, you're a winner, okay? Now, the southwest region. Go ahead and make your pick down there. All right, let's take a look. Oh, okay, here you can see that this one, I put them all on the outside, which is part of the fun of this game for the person running the game is they can try to play like mind games, or it's just fun to move them, and maybe you don't even move them the next time. Okay, finally, on the north region, go ahead and take your pick. All right, you have your pick, and let's take a look, and you can see I put them right there. All right, so determine how many points you have, and then let's look and see what prize you win. Okay, so here you can see what prize you would win when you played it yourself. Thanks again for giving me a chance to demonstrate my game. Thank you.